Hello everyone, welcome to the semi-finals of Grand Prix Boston. Rich Hagan and Randy Bueller here with you in the booth, and we are going to get going with Phil Napoli on the left of your screen and Robin Dolar on your right. Phil Napoli of New York, New Jersey, let's not split hairs, and Robin Dolar of Europe, let's keep it vague, actually Slovenia, to give him his full national title. So Dolar is playing in third consecutive Grand Prix constructed top 8.
That is insane.
He is just, it turns out, very, very good. So he is here playing junk against Phil Napoli. The life total for Dolar is not super important. The poison total is. And Randy, here we are with Thoughtseize, and he gets to see what the poison man, Phil Napoli, has in store.
Funny, he'd love to take the poison creature, and he can't. That hand is 4 giant growth effects, 3 lands. One of the lands turns into a poison creature. That is an Ink Moth Nexus. So he can't Thoughtseize a land, can't take the Ink Moth Nexus. All he can do is take one of the giant growths, which I guess Distortion Strike?
It's a start.
I mean, Groundswell can deal 4, Mutagenic Growth 5/6, other Mutagenic Growth 7/8. I think Napoli can't kill him in one attack because of the Thoughtseize. Like, taking any of those prevents the one attack kill. I guess you take Groundswell since it does the most? Or does Distortion Strike better? Distortion Strike is awkward because Phil only has the Blink Moth Nexus. He wouldn't actually be able to Distortion Strike the Blink Moth Nexus until turn 3. Yeah, I take Groundswell.
Well, let's see what Dolar eventually does.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Mutagenic Growth is free is also relevant. But I think I take Groundswell. He goes Distortion Strike. Yeah, I mean, they're all similar. They're all doing the same basic function. Just without an Infect creature. Like, Glistener Elf off the top would make this draw so insane. But yeah, leads with the Nexus because he wants the ability to attack with it on turn 2. Dolar lines up his second turn. Cracks Marsh Flats.
Have we got as far as working out a favorite in this matchup, having seen plenty of junk through the weekend?
We haven't seen enough Infect. Like,
Okay.
I don't have a good sense. What Marshall and I had decided was it basically comes down to how good Phil's draw is.
Right, so
like
he's in
Dolar
control and can just outgun him.
With the right draw,
Right.
yes. With the right draw, he just wins on turn 2 or 3.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Lingering Souls as potentially being a pretty useful thing, but then, I mean, it's irrelevant once you get to Blightsteel, so to the unblockable.
Yeah, the agent, or if if a Distortion Strike goes off, all these things make it really awkward to block.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lingering Souls make it a little easier. I mean, I'd rather have them than not have them if I'm Robin Dolar. But I mean,
No Orzhov Pontiff sitting in a sideboard for Dolar.
no.
That's a shame.
I mean, Phil can even Apostle's Blessing to get through tokens.
Yeah.
Blighted Agent is the easiest way. Distortion Strike, Apostle's Blessing, yeah. If Phil has the right draw, there's nothing Robin can do about it. He can try to break it up with Thoughtseizes like he's done here.
Uh-huh.
And try to apply some pressure, but he can't realistically race. So he has to try to kill every poison creature he sees. And bust up his draws with hand destruction if possible.
the other semi-final, Andrew Boswell faces Alex Bertoncini. That is Rock for Boswell and Affinity for Bertoncini. So we've got 4 decks in the final 4.
Yep. None of which are pod.
And none of which are twin.
There's the Lingering Souls. Does seem pretty good here in this draw.
I was looking through Facebook from the last couple of hours. Phil Napoli posted, great run on day 2. Pretty sure I haven't made top 8, but Honolulu, here we come.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
he didn't think he was in at all. So
I don't think anybody had confidence. Like, all 8 of those guys were just shrug, reset tiebreakers, who knows?
Yeah.
Other than, poor Jacob Wilson, who was confident he was once again going to miss on tiebreakers, just like the last time he went 13-2 at a giant GP. He's now in the tie for the Worlds at Large. He got to 44.
Along with everyone else.
Yeah,
you've
there's
heard
5 of them now.
Right. That's Chris Fennell. Ben Stark is in there.
Yep. Hayne, McLean.
Right.
Yeah, this has definitely been a good game for Lingering Souls. And I was explaining the ways in which it wasn't going to matter, but against Blink Moth as the only Infect creature, it is pretty good.
But as you say, though, he doesn't necessarily, as we've seen all day with the poison decks, doesn't necessarily have long. So, yes, he has defense right now, but
I think there's Lingering Souls. That's actually good. Him taking the Distortion Strike was quite appropriate given his plan of blocking with Lingering Souls. Like, he made them into a good card. Played his hand really well. Is he going to attack with everybody? Flashback Lingering Souls? Seems like a pretty reasonable line.
put Phil down.
What's Tarmogoyf on?
So,
Sorcery, land. Is it just sorcery, land?
Looks like it might be right now.
Distortion Strike's is sorcery, isn't it?
So you've got Thoughtseize, Lingering Souls, Distortion Strike, the lands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2-3. It also makes sense with Phil on 17. He cracked 1 fetch land and took 1 Tarmogoyf hit. Now, what's Napoli up to? He's in the middle of combat, right? Cracks a fetch land?
Mm-hmm. And he's going to pay.
Dolar down to 11. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Probably feels good for
Yes.
him not to have to worry about his life total. He can just get the lands that he wants to get when he wants to get them.
Absolutely.
Wow. Phil wants to put Blink Moth in front of Tarmogoyf.
Interesting.
Dolar hasn't let him block yet. It's funny, Abrupt Decay is the removal spell. Dolar has the most of it, but it's his non-land. You can't kill a Blink Moth Nexus with an Abrupt Decay. And now, yeah, okay, he's going to use, is that Mutagenic Growth?
Yeah, so he's not going to let it die. It's not a sacrificial lamb.
No, yeah. So 3/3 Nexus, but that put an instant in the graveyard, of course, so he has to use 2 Mutagenic Growths to make the 5/5 Nexus big enough to beat up the now 3/4 Tarmogoyf.
Right. Yeah, it's like when a Tarmogoyf is a 2/3 and you aim a lightning bolt at it and there's no instant in the graveyard. Not
Doesn't
killing
die.
It. Not killing it.
Giant Growthing your guy. A little more obvious that it doesn't die, but
Right.
the second Giant Growth gets there.
So Dolar reloads with Liliana of the Veil.
Ooh. Now, Liliana of the Veil can kill a Nexus. Surely he ticks down and makes Phil sack a creature, right?
Given how the game started out, that seems... Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
So he lost to Tarmogoyf, but he does kill the Nexus. And meanwhile, those Lingering Souls tokens connected for 2 damage.
Yeah,
Mutagenic Growths also did 4 total. Like, he paid Phyrexian mana for both of them.
Still a Lingering Souls in the graveyard for Dolar.
Indeed.
So he can go 2, 4,
Dryad
4.
Arbor. Dryad Arbor could have taken the Liliana hit for the Nexus if only it had been out a turn sooner.
Right. So Robin Dolar in pretty decent shape here in game 1 with a Planeswalker, with Lingering Souls in the graveyard backup.
Yeah, most importantly, with his opponent having no Infect creatures.
Yes. And that again speaks, when you say most importantly, to the fact that this matchup is about what Phil's doing.
Yeah.
Can or cannot do. And then Dolar just has to take his chances where they present themselves.
Yeah, and I mean...
Which he has.
Yeah, he needs to kill every Infect creature he can as soon as he possibly can. He needs to, maybe some hand destruction, knock some Giant Growths out of his hand. That plan has worked here. Phil only had the 1 Infect creature. Took enough, took a key unblockable and power pumping rebound spell. Lingering Souls was able to threaten blocking. Yeah, been a well-played game from Robin Dolar, and honestly kind of a weak draw from Phillip Napoli. He's yet to draw his first Infect creature, just the 1 Blink Moth. Which, I mean, I think he's right to keep. I think that was a keepable draw, but I think it's a below average draw.
Yeah, I mean, his main deck has 4 Blighted Agent, 4 Glistener Elf, 3 Viridian Corruptor.
Yeah, and the
1
4 Blink Moths.
Birds, 4 Noble Hierarch.
And the 4 Blink Moths, or Ink Moths. I keep getting those names backwards. I think that, I mean, this archetype really wishes it could play 8 Glistener Elves. If there was a second 1-drop Infect creature, or even another good 2-drop, like we saw in the quarters, Phil's opponent, Wesley Hovenech, was playing Plague Stinger.
Yeah, and some people have played Ichor Mir.
I have seen Ichor Mir.
That's around.
Plague Stinger seems better to me, but
yeah,
I haven't played a lot of this deck. And you do have the option to just, say, you know what, no Glistener Elf, no Blighted Agent, let's mulligan.
Yes.
Yeah, the deck is a little inconsistent and a little fragile, but when it does its thing, it may be just the most brutally effective fast kill in the format.
And that's why Dennis Rashid played it this weekend.
Yeah?
I was asking about it. He said, in Limited, I want every interaction known to man available to both players.
Okay.
I hate hexproof in Limited. I hate anything that says we can't interact in multiple levels every single turn.
Sure.
In Constructed, I want my opponents to never play a single card ever.
Okay.
In 2 days of tournament Magic, and when you look at the decks he's played, he made the top 8 of a GP with Bant Hexproof.
There you go.
He played this here, this poison deck here. And he said, yeah, I am not interested in reaching turn 3 if I can possibly help it. Who would do that to themselves? So, yes, it is not a deck if you want to necessarily get super interactive. The Belcher of Modern.
There was more interaction in the mirror than I was expecting. The fact that Vines of Vastwood can target the other guy's creatures and fizzle a Giant Growth effect was...
yes, that's quite neat and clever. Dryad Arbor gets blocked. A Lingering Souls token.
Feel threatening to go real damage. He's like, well, you did 10, so now it's almost like poisoning you out. I'll do Dryad Arbor, Infect, Exalted. Yep. All right, now he's found an Abrupt Decay target. Down goes Noble Hierarch.
Potentially.
Maybe? No, Vines of Vastwood.
Exactly what you just talked about. But Liliana and 3 flyers is still the position. And Dolar, although he's at 10 life, is only at 1 poison. And Napoli is down to 8 and struggling. Let's see where Liliana ticks next.
This game looks like it's going to be another love letter to Lingering Souls.
Mm-hmm. And finally, yes, Lingering Souls will go up.
Liliana goes up.
I've got Lingering Souls on the brain. I do apologize.
No worries. Yeah, he could have sacrificed Liliana to kill the Hierarch, but it's not that important.
There's the discard both ways, Groundswell and Dark Confident.
Oh yeah, Scavenging Ooze up now. He can safely block Dryad Arbor. Doesn't have to worry about 2 crazy giant growths suddenly dealing 10 real damage.
So Napoli now down at 5? No?
Oh, there's Might of Old Krosa. Wow. Might of Old Krosa. Are you going to block?
Yeah.
Oh, you figured it out!
Oh,
all right.
Shucks. So Robin Dolar leads 1-0 in a game where, as we've established, it's a lot about what Phil Napoli can do, whether he has an explosive draw, and turn 1 Thought
He kind of always has an explosive draw. It's really, you know, the poison creatures, I think, seem to be that where he's always pinched. He's always constrained on not having enough poison creatures.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, they're going very, very quickly because they are into their game 2, playing at quite the rate. Alex Bertoncini is already 1-0 up over Andrew Boswell. They're at 18 life each. Bertoncini with Affinity. And
yeah, he had to win game 1. I mean, I think that the sideboarding is so good for Andrew Boswell that Bertoncini doesn't take game 1, and he's probably cold. So with the game 1 win, though, it doesn't look like Boswell has Shatterstorm, and he's been trading 1 for 1, but he's got the bolts. He's got, is that Ancient Grudge in his sideboard? Yeah? I mean, in his graveyard? Is that what the second card is?
That's up.
Yeah.
His sideboard is...
It's 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Shatterstorm, right?
Yeah, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Shatterstorm. Couple of Grafted Cave, Sword of Light and Shadow, Thrun, Sowing Salt, 3 Fulminator Mage, Thoughtseize, and a Magma Spray and an Olivia. Yeah, and when a Tarmogoyf starts coming in against an 18 life total Affinity player, you kind of think, okay, know where the advantage is in this one. Treetop Village joins the party at the back end of that turn.
He does not play the Fulminator Mage as his Stone Rain. Seems to value the 2/2 body. I mean, he can't kill the Citadel. He cannot turn off the Mox Opal. So maybe he kills this Nexus. Maybe he wants the ability to attack back. Yeah, okay. Kill the Nexus.
And then Alex with 3 cards in hand right now. Now 2, one of which is a Galvanic Blast. Yeah, and now
activate
here comes
Treetop.
Yeah, this is proper aggression time. Tarmogoyf, and there you see.
Yeah, and when the Affinity deck is Galvanic Blasting your creatures,
yeah,
it's usually in the death throes.
Yeah, we're heading for 1-1 very rapidly in this one. We'll return to our main match, Phil Napoli against Robin Dolar, and it'll be interesting to see Phil's opening hand, because as we've seen, pretty key to get going super early. Now just double Signal Pest on Bertoncini's side of the board.
No green mana for Boswell. He can't activate that Treetop.
Right. Again, explosive starts the order of the day. Bertoncini would be on the play in game 3.
Oh, there's Cranial Plating. It's not nothing, although Lava Mancer is going to kill the Signal Pest. So, actually, it kind of is nothing. It's like 2/3 of a healing salve.
Oh, when you say things like that, that just doesn't sound good.
Wasn't.
Uh, was there a time when people were pleased to play a whole of a healing salve?
No. Never. Never happened.
Yeah, scoop them up. It is 1-1.
Not even in limited.
No, because I can't even remember playing one like sealed deck. Pro Tour Magic 2015, where Healing Salve will not be a big player, is this coming weekend, August the 1st through the 3rd of 2014. It is the last event of a long Grand Prix and Pro Tour and Community Cup and World Championship season, and it all culminates in Portland next Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The video team will be there, the text team will be there, 400 of the best players in the world will be there, ranging from your PTQers to your silvers, your golds, your platinums, your world captains for your World Magic Cups, your World Championships, and of course a whole host of Hall of Famers. That will get announced in Portland. We'll tell you who the new Hall of Fame inductees are going to be. Well, got some other things to tell you about as well, but it is
Yeah,
going
like
to
what?
be, well,
Like what, Rich?
like it's possible we might talk about next year and some places and, you know,
Ooh.
some cities and some, yeah, Pro Tours and GPs.
Nice.
Got to talk about something over dinner. So tune in all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for the big showdown. Not least of all those things I mentioned, Reed Duke, Jeremy Desani, 1 point separates them. For Player of the Year, Desani leads 71-70. If either of them win the World Champ, win it, they'll break the 100.
Wow.
30 points for the win. Those two can hit 100 pro points in a season.
Yeah.
Now, it's a long season. It's a 15-month season. It went back to Guadalajara last May.
See, you say that like it's this awe-inspiring thing, and I remember doing Fantasy Pro Tour back 10, 12 years ago when you got 100 pro points to spend on your team, and it was not possible to draft Kai Buddha. He literally broke the system. He had over 100 pro points for like 2 years running.
Huh.
Now, I think there was an extra Pro Tour at that point, but
Yeah, sure.
Kai
Yes.
at his peak, he won consecutive
Kai
Pro
broke
Tours.
everything.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's had 100 pro points in a year since Kai.
Yes, I think we can say that.
That would
and,
be
and
pretty-
also, there was a period where you look at the number of GPs, and it was even more than there currently are. There were a couple of years. I think it was around about.
Well, there was
04,
without a 5
05.
GP cap. That was.
Oh,
there were
that
years
too,
without the 5
yeah.
GP cap. There weren't years with more GPs.
So here we go with Gitaxian Probe.
And certainly not the years when Kai was playing.
No. Couple
Well, when
of
Kai was at his peak.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
double
Gitaxian Probe.
Inquisition of Kozilek and Dark Confident.
It's nice with the poison deck to kind of have a sense of what you're playing through.
And he starts with a turn 1 creature, but it's a Bird of Paradise, which is not the most exciting. It is no Glistener Elf, that's for sure.
Well, let's see what
Inquisition
else he
back
kept.
the other way. Apostle's Blessing.
Wow.
Some sideboard technology.
Couple of dispels.
Dispels, indeed.
There are no giant
And
growths in
2
that
land.
hand.
And no creatures.
Well, there's a Blink Moth
well,
Nexus. Ink Moth Nexus.
Just fudge it. Just go, come off.
I've been,
And no one will ever know.
I have said Nexus many times today.
Good plan.
Apostle's Blessing is the choice. Interesting.
Well, we were talking on the stream over the last couple of days that for all there are these huge amounts of giant growths, ultimately Apostle's Blessing is the card that you feel kills you because it's the thing that trumps your answer to survive.
Sure.
So Dolar goes, yeah, I don't fancy dying to an Apostle's Blessing. He runs out Dark Confident. Phil Napoli, unlike Pierre Dajon, does not have Dark Blast to decimate Robin Dolar's Dark Confident plan. Activate. In.
Pendlehaven means it's 2 power. Yeah, these cards are genuinely free. Dark
Yes.
Confident, yeah, take 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if Dark Confident gave poison counters,
Oh, dear Lord.
it'd be so much better. Oh my god.
Darker Confident.
Darker Confidant, I like it. Poison instead of life.
Boy, that'd be a deck building restriction, wouldn't it?
It's better. It's way better. Like, you don't take a single point of damage until you take the 10th. Think of it that way. Only the 10th point counts.
Everything's free.
Everything's free until you've taken 10, and then you lose the game. So it's just like 95% of all games, it's totally free cards. So much better.
I'm pretty sure we had a conversation about liking free things in Magic earlier today. Yeah, we'll put that in the design notebook. Darker Confident. Poison counters. So Napoli at 16, that is the relevant number as far as he's concerned. Dolar at 16, nobody cares. 2 poison, relevant number for him.
Yeah, the 2 ink moths now, so he can, I guess he can't activate both profitably. You can activate 1 and Pendelhaven it is the same as activating both. Another land would let him start doing 3. We know he's holding a pair of Dispels. We do not know about his last couple draw phases. Although the second Nexus is recent. Nexus. Make it 2 power.
Yep.
Get ya.
Dolar to 4.
Oh, he did have a land. Guess he's got something to cast. Is he just interested in leaving up to spell? I think Phil wins this race, right? If it's just a pure race. He needs 3 attacks. Oh, Blighted Agent.
Right.
Now he wins the race.
That's for sure, yes.
He's tapped out, though, so those Dispels do not help now.
So Dolar reveals a genuinely free card of Dark Confident and then draws into another Dark Confident.
Dolar's holding Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives for 2 while it kills Napoli's poison creature, infect creature. Not exactly what Robin Dolar wants to do on this board.
No, a 1 for 3.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very good.
Sounds better than a 2/3 for Healing Salve, though.
I guess.
You take a 2/3 of a Healing Salve and the shame of having cast 2/3 of a Healing Salve. There's an excuse for casting a 1 for 3 here, arguably. I'm sure he won't do that right now, but
I mean, he can have it out, right?
yeah.
He can threaten, I can blow up your Blighted Agent whenever I want.
Yeah, don't you dare make it huge.
No, okay. Abrupt Decay.
Better
Much
idea.
better answer.
Make it dead.
Dispel couldn't have stopped that anyway. Yeah, still very much a race. Tarmogoyf is what? Instant sorcery land? 3? No, creature now. Blighted Agent. I think it's a 4.
Yep.
Hey, Rashad, can we get a 4/5 Tarmogoyf counter?
certainly what it is, because Napoli took 6 and fell to 7.
Oh, Inquisition.
And now Dolar says, let's have a look. There it is on screen, your 4-5 Tarmogoyf.
Saw the other dispel he knew about, and then a second Pendelhaven, which doesn't actually change the race, right? Phil needs 2 attack phases either way. And might get them.
So, Phil Napoli,
Pretty tight little game.
still trying to get 6 poison counters through.
Okay, he needs to deal 3 and then 3. So he needs to attack with both Nexi.
And then a Pendelhaven to pump.
Right. May want to leave the bird available as a jump blocker.
Yeah, stick something in the way of the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, currently slated to fall to 1. But that all seems doable. Activate Pendelhaven, play the other Pendelhaven, activate 3. Stirring Wildwood amongst Dolar's lands too, which means he's pretty much means he's required to leave the bird on defense.
Right.
Guess he could also plan to do 2 poison and then 4. Yeah, I don't think you want to tap Breeding Pool. If you're going to do 2 poison, you tap Nexus to activate Nexus, use Pendelhaven, leave up the bird and the Dispel mana. Get in your chump block, try to crack back for 4 next turn. I don't know what he drew, though.
Yeah, you can see the Pendelhaven quite clearly as the white border, the first card of the 3.
Oh, he drew Hierarch. That's a good one.
Ah.
So now that's a 3.
Activate, Exalted.
And there's 2 blockers available, 2 chump blockers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can Phil Napoli survive this next attack phase and then attack for the win?
Dolar at 7 poison. Napoli at 7 life, but with defense.
Yeah, these are the games you don't think about very much with this Infect deck. I mean, sure, they come out explosively and just 10 you out of nowhere, but, you know, an Exalted trigger, normally +1 doesn't feel that bad, but when your life total starts at 10 instead of 20, it's kind of like, you know what? If Exalted gave +2, it would be really good. If Pendelhaven gave +2, it would be really good.
And here it kind of does.
Yeah, so he's just like, yeah, I'll just deal your entire life total in 4 attacks.
Treetop Village for free off the Dark Confident. And now here is Engineered Explosives.
Explosives for 1. Kills both of the blockers. Pumps the Goyf, right?
Because of, there it
Crucially,
is.
Yeah. Pumps the Goyf up to 5, which means that's 7 damage. Wow.
They were both at 7. Dolar was at poison range. Napoli, though, with the Engineered Explosives, was at lethal range. And that puts Robin Dolar of Slovenia into his 2nd Grand Prix final in his 3rd consecutive constructed Grand Prix top 8. Vienna 2013, 2nd place. Prague 2014, 8th place. And I can tell you that the finals are set because in our other semi-final, Andrew Boswell with Rock has defeated Alex Bertoncini with Affinity. It will be Rock on Rock.
There you go.
In the final.
The white splash versus the red splash.
Right.
That did feel like the deck of the weekend. It really felt like starting in the trials, those rock decks have had just spectacular success all weekend long. Yeah, it makes sense to me they'd be playing in the finals.
So,